Hej och välkomna till STC Expo. Tredje året vi kör tillsammans med Sundsvall 42. Och i år så har vi satt en titel Sensing for the Future. Dagen kommer att hållas på svenska, men jag tänkte köra en introduktion på engelska för våra engelsktalande deltagare. So, sensing for the future. Whatever do we mean by that? You could have very futuristic thoughts about what it could be. Could it be that we start to build aliens or robots of any kind? No. Sensing for the future. Our aim here is to see what with technology, what with sensing technology, with the services that we can build to help the environment and perhaps preventing environmental problems and make the polar bear a bit happier. So, sensing for the future. During this day, we have a program that covers most of what we think about here. Energy production. How can we, by surveillance and improving technology, make energy production more efficient? The usage of energy. How can we use the energy? We have a speech on LED lighting, which will be introduced more and more. A way of using the energy more efficiently. You can also have an industrial perspective on this. So energy is a very important aspect if we look at the environmental problems of the world. Surveillance the environment to avoid environmental hazards, to avoid or try to understand the environment better. It could also be to surveil the personal environment of each and every one of us, to see how can we make it better for each individual. So, production of energy, I mentioned. How can we make, for instance, the wind power plant, by measuring, by characterizing the environment, more efficient? By measuring, how can we make energy production more environmental friendly? And can we, with technology, make the production more cost effective? The other aspect, this is to produce more energy with less effort. How can we use less energy? Well, one is to make the industrial processes more efficient, and there is a lot of things to be done in the industry. How can we tune and improve our processes in the industry to have the same outcome, or even better, with less energy consumption? Lighting. There is this, which I think Chris Harris will go into, EU directive that we should start moving towards LED lighting instead of the ones that we have today. And we have also Kent Bertilsson that will talk about how we can make the conversion of energy more efficiently for instance, IT products. Another very important, since us humans are a very big player in consuming energy. And if we can change our behavior, we can make a huge impact on decreasing the energy consumption of the world. So make us aware of what we do and how we consume energy. If we know it and we get this feedback in real time, we can change our behavior. It could that we get a mobile application that gives us feedback on our energy footprint or environmental footprint, how we affect the environment just as we speak and stand right now. So we get a feeling how we affect the environment now. It could also be connected services and design. This is from In Use, where we also have a speaker that will talk about how we can use the combination of design and services to also get us aware of how we affect the environment through our energy consumption. The next part is surveilling the environment, characterizing our environment. One thing could be to detect an oil leakage before it happens, so that we can make the countermeasures before the catastrophe is a fact. Detect when a dam is about to burst by having distributed surveillance of the different parameters. Another thing is to understand the environment. I mean, we have the Climate Council in the UN that tries to determine how the climate will evolve through the years. But a very important part of that is to understand the environment. And wireless and, in some sense, powerless systems makes it possible to do this in a quite large scale, to not a huge cost. And we can make this objectively without having to have humans involved in this process. We can make this characterization automized. Our personal environment. Well, we can use service solutions that can help us understand our environment better, our interaction with the real world. Also perhaps to interact with people, so that we interact in a more smooth and better way. And also get our homes more smart to also improve our environment at home and decrease the footprint of our lives in energy consumption and environmental effects. So, sensible things that communicate. As I said, this is the third time we do this together with Sundsvall 42. It's in total the sixth time that we have some kind of STC Expo event. And STC, for those of you who don't know this, it's a research center at Mid-Sweden University. It's focused within the subject area of electronics and computer science. It has different kinds of technology focuses. We have sensor technology, develop the sensors, develop detector technology, to sense new things and do this differently than it has been done in the past and make it more cheap. Measurement technology. Develop new measurement technologies and perhaps also to do it whenever, wherever, would also affect how we measure. Embedded systems, we need to implement these systems. So we need the technology for that. And it needs to be adopted that we can measure everywhere, at any time. Then we have the service platforms. We need to integrate this into an internet context. We need to make this available in whatever context we want this to be used. We are presently about 80 persons, 70 researchers. Half of them are PhD students, half of them are senior researchers, approximately. So this is the technology development research that we perform. But we have chosen to do this also in a matrix, our research, that we apply this in different areas. These are general technologies that basically is used in very many different application areas. This is perhaps where we started, industrial IT. Improving industrial processes by measuring new things in new places. This is also an emerging field for developing personal services, introducing sensor data into a context of a person, and try to, from this, make a precision delivery of services. And then we have the third here, which is environmental. How can we use this general technology to do an impact for the environment? Do an impact for energy production, energy consumption, and environmental surveillance. So, what, for instance, could we do in STC for the environment? I will run a small example here. Here's news from last year that it was some eagles that stopped the build of the windmill park outside of Sundsvall here. So, and these are, I mean, it's environmental values that we want to keep, which gets in conflict that we want clean energy also. And this was a good place for clean energy. Another part here is this from 1 month ago, where the Ministry of Agriculture wants to make impact on environmental surveillance. And here you can see birds are a good and quick indicator for changes in the environment. So if we combine this, we have a place somewhere in the world, and we have a bird. And the bird interacts with its environment. What if we would place here a sensor network, a vision-based sensor network, which looks into the sky? And let this sensor network observe its environment and characterize what it sees. It would look something like this, if we have several of these nodes looking up in the sky. And we would have interaction where we have an overlay with this bird, which makes it possible to determine where it is and how high it is and how big it is. From this, we could do objective characterization of a population. So we could use it when we're going to build a windmill park to determine, is this a good area or not? Will it affect the bird populations in this area? And what kind of population do we have? And it will be objective measurement, not determined by a person that could have a biased thought about what to do. Even it could be that it's overprotective or it's more, it really wants to build this windmill. Another thing you could also is to, in real time, position and identify the birds. So basically, you could control the windmills so you don't kill these royal eagles. That would be possible. So this was one example of how we can use this new technology to make an impact for the environment. We will see many, many more today during the speech. And also, you will see some of the technology that we use for these purposes in the exhibition. And the exhibition you can visit during coffee breaks, lunches, and then after the speeches, the last speech. So, the program of this year, Sensing for the Future. We will start with a perspective from the government on how to surveil and what to surveil in the environment. Then we have, this is Britta Hedlund from Naturvårdsverket. Then we have Bengt Öhlman from Mid-Sweden University, who will tell about what we have done in environmental surveillance here at Mid-Sweden University. Then we have a presentation of the lunch on lighting and how to make lighting more efficient through using LED lights and challenges for this. It's Chris Harris from Cree that will present this. Then we have our own researcher, Kent Bertilsson, from Mid-Sweden University, and also his company, STEPS, on how to convert power more efficiently with less losses in the conversion. Then we have in use that will Emil Björklund that will talk about how to combine sensors design and service development in a very exciting way. Then we have coffee and also a chance to look at the exhibition, and we close the program with Ericsson Research, Mikael Åström, which will talk about connected things, how we connect everything into a context. So, hope you will like this day, and welcome. Thank you.